Welcome, comrade, to Orstotska, the location of this week's review. Papers, please. You will be tasked with guarding this great nation's border against any threats that may approach. Glory to Orstotska. Yeah, I'm not gonna do this entire review in a horribly done Russian accent, but yes, this week's review is Papers, Please, a simplistic simulation game that has some surprising depth to it. The premise is that you win a lottery, which grants you a job at the nation's borders. At first, you'll just need to allow only Orstotska's citizens, but we'll eventually get so many additional parameters that it's gonna get easier and easier to make costly mistakes. The game is primarily controlled with the mouse, with only a few upgrades available at a later time to be able to press space or tab for small second-saving shortcuts. With this, the only thing you need to worry about is analyzing the passports, identification cards, access permits, work permits, and so on. The game takes place over 30 days, or maybe 31, I can't remember. The game starts off easily enough, again, with the instructions to deny any foreign citizens. The second day, you can allow foreigners in, but they have to have an entry ticket. Every day you get a new rule, or an existing one altered. One nation might be banned due to the events happening in the world, such as a higher risk of terroristic activities, or maybe you'll have to do body searches of certain nations. Your sole decision is to let the person in front of you enter the border or turn them away, dictated by one of two stamps that you put on their passport. So as you play and pore over these documents, there's several things you'll be keeping an eye on. First off is the dates printed. Are they expired? If they are, the person can't cross the border. Do they have all of the required documents? If not, no can do, bub. What about the names and passport numbers? Did you check the issuing city to make sure it matches up to the correct country? Do any of the emblems printed on the paperwork look off? They might be forged. What about the person's weight? If it doesn't match, they may be trying to smuggle something in, so they will need to be searched. If you're uncomfortable with pixelated boobs, asses, or schlongs, well, you can turn off the nudity in the options. And this isn't even everything. There's other details that will have to be kept an eye on, but that's why the rules book is a great resource that you might want to have open at all times. But the rulebook will only do so much. Ultimately, the only way to succeed is to have a true attention to detail. Anything that looks off should be approached by clicking the inspection button to highlight the two discrepancies. By doing this, you will be able to interrogate the person. From here, depending on their response, there are multiple outcomes. If they state that they gave the wrong reason or time frame for their entry, you can either admit or deny them. But if it's something like a different name, look, or even height, you can get the option to fingerprint them. You can then compare the fingerprints along with any known aliases and then make the decision. If they still don't match up, at one point you'll be able to start detaining the people. Detaining wrongdoers takes a bit more time than simply denying entry, but about a third of the way through the game or so, you'll be able to get some bonuses from one of the guards for detainments, so they do make it worth your while. As for money, there are several ways of earning it. You get 5 credits for every correct admission or denial. You'll get 5 credits for every 2 people you detain. You also get 20 credits for an accurate tranquilizer shot, when you get access to that in the later part of the game. And what is that money needed for? Well, survival. At the end of each day, you'll have to pay for rent. You also have to pay for heat and food, but those are both optional. However, if you don't pay for those, there are repercussions. If you don't get your food, your family will go hungry, and your son will get sick, requiring medicine to stay alive. If you don't get heat, everyone will get cold, but this won't cause any immediate effects. You can safely alternate between food and heat each day without having any major issues, but miss 2 days in a row, and that's when you're going to run into some serious problems. As far as I know, the game won't immediately end if your entire family dies, but it can't make you feel good about yourself. Let's say that you mess up. The game is very forgiving with its save system. You can't save midday, but the game keeps track of the days in each run, and you can choose which day to continue from. It's a pretty neat way of keeping track of your progress. The game may sound boring and repetitive, but it's anything but. Analyzing each document that's presented to you, looking for small details that make you question the true intentions of each person that stands in front of you is fun, challenging, and yes, stressful. Had a rough prior day and get penalized for all of your mistakes? You may get the urge to rush through and get more people processed, and therefore get more money, but then you might make more mistakes. Maybe someone approaches you and states that they're missing an entry ticket, but beg or bribe you to let you through because maybe their family is waiting for them. There are quite a few morality choices presented to you, and it's up to you how you want to proceed with them. Plus, there might be some outside sources that try to distract you. No, wait, that's just a friend on Steam. In addition to the normal things that you're keeping an eye on, there's a rebel force known as the Order of Edzic that will speak to you at times. They are trying to create an uprising in Arstotzka. It's up to you on whether you want to assist them or not. They will often give you encrypted notes, and if you don't assist them, not all is lost, as the game continues regardless. I will advise you that if you do assist them, stay with it, because the ending I achieved wasn't very good since I got caught helping them out from time to time, and didn't fully commit. Well, that's one ending I received. I had 20. That's right, 20 endings. I did also get another one where I smuggled some of my family out to another country, but my uncle and mother-in-law, yeah, they can kind of fend for themselves. The atmosphere of the game itself might look minimal with its pixelated look, but it does really well to promote the dark, foreboding world. Arstotzka isn't a pleasant place, as much as your boss would try to tell you otherwise. The inhabitants and foreigners that are trying to get in don't ever smile, and even their passport photos are incredibly grim. Your supervisor will come and chastise you every 10 days for every mistake that you make, of which are printed out for you immediately after making them. Even the quote-unquote voices that you hear are deep and oppressive. It just feels right, and the developers of the game did it perfectly. Papers, Please won't appeal to everyone, but for those interested, it's an amazing game. It's strangely addictive and fun to scour the documents presented to you, looking for minor imperfections and questioning the person that's trying to gain entry. And equally as frustrating when you make a mistake as simple as not noticing that the male in front of you is listed as a female on his passport. Sadly, there is no real open-ended option, but there are several endless modes that can be unlocked to test your abilities against the rest of the world, complete with leaderboards. If it looks good to you, definitely give it a go. It may kill one weekend, but you'll probably be back to try to do better. Final score? 6 out of 7. This is Reaper. Happy fragging.